The following footage is from a realtor named Chris Jackson. He was showing a home in Bowie, Maryland, and he had to pull out his phone to record it because you wouldn't believe unless you saw it yourself. And honestly, as you watch this video, it raises not only multiple questions, but it makes you feel like maybe they should involve the police. Take a look at this footage.
So I'm in Bowie, Maryland today, showing houses. And in 20 years in the industry of going in houses of all types, I've never seen anything like this. 6-foot gates, deadbolts, drawing on the wall in the back, so you know it wasn't a dog back there. Air conditioning. Are you serious?
Oh, what do you think made that?
Están a la orden del día. Fuerzas militares le dicen a nuestra cadena hermana, la NBC, que tienen listos sus aviones de guerra F-22, que están monitoreando los cielos de los Estados Unidos con más cuidado que nunca. En el norte del país reina la confusión y se extiende a Canadá. Los cielos están bajo alerta máxima. Yo necesito información y los estadounidenses necesitan información, dijo este congresista de Montana, cuyo tráfico aéreo se vio interrumpido en un fin de semana dramático, con derribamiento de objetos voladores el viernes sobre aguas de Alaska, sobre Canadá el sábado y ayer sobre el lago Hurón en el centro del país. En este último incidente, el objeto volador iba a 20,000 pies de altura y autoridades dicen que lo derribaron porque suponía un peligro para la aviación comercial. Según el Departamento de Defensa, el objeto voló muy cerca de sitios sensibles. El nerviosismo se desató a partir del globo chino espía que atravesó Estados Unidos y fue derribado en aguas de Carolina del Norte, en donde autoridades siguen recabando información. Sin embargo, estos objetos todavía son un misterio.
My friend, do you think those are big drones?
I recently had this video go viral, and the comments are so funny to me. The video starts out by me sharing public knowledge. Nobel Prize winners in 2022 for physics won that prize because they proved quantum entanglement. Entanglement proves that object permanence does not exist, aka reality has no fixed and predetermined state until you measure it. The whole video is about how objects are not locally real until you observe it. Reality does not exist until it is being observed. That is what they won the Nobel Prize for. It's a dramatic conclusion that most researchers accept, but still fully struggle to grasp. And no one in my comments can grasp it. And I just have a message to you all. Don't shoot the messenger. Reality is not objectively real. Nobel Prize winners won the Nobel Prize due to this statement. It's not that I don't understand. It has nothing to do with me. Look, I get it. New realities are hard to grasp, especially when they challenge what we feel like is real in our everyday reality. But I will double down. People won the Nobel Prize. Not only did they prove quantum entanglement, but quantum entanglement has been a known concept for literally almost 100 years, and they finally closed all the loopholes with 20 years of experiments to prove that it can't not be true. It's not like they won based off one experiment that in a few years we're going to be oh, that wasn't the whole picture. So if you think objects do exist even when you aren't looking at them, that is literally wrong. That is just literally not true. And I can't help you. I get it's weird, but objects do not exist if you aren't looking at them. Reality does not exist if you aren't observing it.
Oh, man. Do you understand that concept, my
World's
friends?
Fair 2025. World's Exposition 2025. World's Fair / Expo in Dubai in 2020. I didn't know about that. And 2015 in Italy, the World's Expo. So here I am conspiracizing on the World's Fair, looking at all the different machines that they pretend to be buildings, and I learned that we're still hosting the World Fairs. Check out this list of World's Fairs on Wikipedia. The first one is in 1791 in Prague, and there's a whole bunch. In the 1800s, they were just faring away. Carnival City. I mean, look at this. All like in the same year, year after year. Every single one of these locations is probably a Tartarian city or Tartarian building. Anyway, as I'm scrolling all the way down, I passed it a little bit. We are still hosting the World's Fairs. Like there's a few more coming up to 2035. Did anybody know? It's still a thing?
Huh. Did you know
Everyone's
about
talking
them?
about the Kendrick and Drake beef, but nobody's talking about the time traveler. Where are my people? This boy literally has an Airbnb in Florida, and he saw someone on his Ring camera. Now, mind you, he was watching the Ring camera the entire time this happened, this whole thing transpired. He saw some guy with a book bag go across his yard to his backyard on his Ring camera. He's watching the guy the whole time. The guy goes in his backyard and goes into his shed. So he's like, who's this guy? I'm calling the police. He calls the police. Police come there. And he's watching the camera the whole time. The guy never leaves the shed. And the police are like, there's nobody here. They go in the shed. And the shed's small. They go in, come out. And they're like, nobody's here. So the next day, he sees his Ring camera tells him there's motion in his backyard. He looks in the backyard. And the guy's coming out of his shed. Now, mind you, the police checked, there was nobody there. The guy coming out of his shed was visibly like 30 years older than the guy that walked into the shed initially, and the guy had the same face. It was the same guy. Like, so it gets crazier. So long story short, of course the guy hasn't returned yet, but people have been doing research on the image of the guy. They like did a reverse image search on the guy who's the supposed time traveler, and turns out he might be this guy named like Stephen A. Miller, who passed away in 2018, and who was heavily researching time traveling. Like he was so involved and so engrossed in it. Like he just really wanted to know how it worked. Like this guy was so fascinated by time traveling. Like he figured out like how quantum physics work and everything. So now people are like kind of suspicious that this might be him, and like it's crazy because it's visibly the same guy. And the guy who it's happening to, he has all of the footage to prove that he's not lying. He doesn't know what's going on. He even took his Airbnb listing off Airbnb because of it, and TMZ even posted about it. Like, I just want to know where my people are at, because I have nobody to talk to about this, because everybody's talking about Kendrick and Drake.
Oh, my friends, we had that episode of the owner of the Airbnb, you see? Man captures massive laser beam strike in Texas. Wow. Did you see? Look. Hey, this is no lightning, my friends. Oh, no. What lightning can do that these days? Please leave your comments, you see? Our friends from Texas. Okay. Did you see those stuff?
There it is. Sun's above your head and then it sets. One more time. That's exactly what is happening, okay? Let's change latitudes now and let's go to the North Pole. If you go to the North Pole, the North Star would be directly above your head at your zenith. So if this is the latitude of 45 degrees, because if the equator is here, this black line, that's 0 degrees. That's 45, which is right in the middle of 0 and 90 degrees. Okay? So the 45 degree parallel, the North Star is visible 45 degrees. The North Star would be here. Okay? So if you're at 90 degree north, the North Star is 90 degrees above your head. 40 degree, then it's 45 degrees above your head. Now if you're at the equator, the North Star would be directly 90 degrees. You wouldn't even be able to see the North Star if you go past the equator. See? Watch, I'm going to show you. But first, you're going to see how it looks. See, now it arches. It's going this way because the sun is at the equator, but you're not at the equator. So the sun doesn't go directly above your head. It does this arc, it does a curve instead of a straight line. So the sun would never do a straight line at the North Pole. It would always go around you, and the sun would never do a straight line going above your head. The sun would always be turning at the horizon at the North Pole. So the sun never sets in Sweden and Scandinavia during the summer. It keeps going around the horizon, and it's never above the head or below the horizon. It's at the horizon. Sometimes it's twilight, where the sun is below the horizon, but even though it's below the horizon, you still get light because it's not a ball. Well, peep this out, guys. This is very interesting here. Look what happens when we go past the equator and we go to the South Pole. Boom. The South Pole is near the horizon. It's never above your zenith unless you go to the South Wall, which we're not allowed to go there. So no one ever takes pictures of the South Pole directly above your head except for the army. And that South Pole going the opposite direction is just a reflection. This dome is reflective, and as that turns this way, like that, this goes the other direction.
Oh, my friends, did you grasp anything? Hit the like button, please, you see? And allegedly, the moon is some plasma. And this good vibes guy zoomed in when the moon was half moon. Look at this, man. Look at the edge of the moon there. Oh, this is crazy stuff. How is this even possible? Oh my god. This is very weird, my friends. Why does it look like that, like it has just been cut in half? And now you mean the other half is on the other dark side? You see, it's very hard to explain this stuff. Without honesty, understanding stuff like this can be very hard, you see? People need to be honest with one another. Even in the stuff that people are taught at school, you see? It's good vibes, but honesty is a very important virtue. Because now stuff like this is hard to explain. Look at this. It looks like some piece of cake that has been cut in half. And then you wonder now, what really goes on around here? You see? It's crazy stuff, man. Wonderful things. This is the best times. These times you are living in. To unite. Be one people. Full of love and good vibes. Caring for your neighbor like you do for yourself, you see? So that God will bless us abundantly and we'll be able to understand stuff, you see? Together. Because together we stand but divided before. And all this division because of religion, color, or religion where you come from, it's not nice, good people of us, you see? We are all one people. Good vibes. By the way, if you are just clicked in and I am new to you, I am Y311H, you see? And our mission here is always to spread love, peace, forgiveness, honesty, especially honesty, because without honesty, people can really have hard times living with one another, you see? Oh, look at this. This moon, man, this moon stuff is crazy, huh? But now you wonder, you see, if people have ever gone there, You know, I've seen footages here, and some people say they have ever been to the moon there and even did some stuff. You see, I wish they had gone when the moon is half, when we are seeing half moon. They come and tell us where the other half is. But you see, good guys, people think the other half is covered in darkness. I don't know. You guys leave your thoughts. I believe there are even intelligent science guys watching who can help us understand these things. So it's very important to leave comments, you see? No. Oh, this is crazy, my friends, you see? By the way, thanks to those guys that have always been with us since the owners there, always hitting the like button. You see, you guys are really appreciated, man. You're all loved and full of good vibes. Oh, by the way, there was one of us, Josie. How are you doing, man? This has been quite some while. Leave some comment there if you are okay and everything is nice, you see? Big up to yourself, man. To everybody that does spread good vibes, you see? Even when you are not watching these videos, you are yourself out there doing your stuff, maybe in your job or whatever it is you do for a living, just be some good vibes. So you see, it does not cost anything to do good. Look at this. Now it has been zoomed times, I don't know how many times, but it looks very close. And now when you look at the edges there, you see, look at the end side of that half. What are those particles that look like they are coming from the moon? What really goes on here? This is crazy, man. I can't explain this myself. You see, it always dazzles me. If the moon is that ball of light up there, or it absorbs light from the sun, then you should always be seeing full moon. Or good people of Earth, this story of the moon is half, is quarter, that it has been covered by darkness the other side. How do you see it, good vibes people? You see, you leave your comments about it, or what you know about the moon and this other crazy stuff people have been arguing about. Even the shape of the earth. Imagine stuff like shape of the earth, the dazzling people that live on earth. You see, there is something amiss because of lack of honesty with one another and the caring for your neighbor like you do for yourself. That way people could have explained to one another what they think really goes on, you see. This is definitely weird. Hey, this thing about the moon. This crazy stuff, this one. You see? No, by the way, my friends, do you have some pet there? By the way, just as you are watching, continuing to watch this stuff, do you have some pet yourself? Tell us, leave some comment there. What's the name of your pet? What type is it, by the way? Is it a frog, a hippopotamus, or a dinosaur? You tell us. They are all good vibes animals. Leave some comment there, see? Because living with animals in peace is also good. It's very good, in fact. Because God will never ever stop to bless you. When you do good deeds will always come your way. And bad vibes will never affect you, see? My friend, have you hit the notification button? By the way, you see this notification button when you hit it. That stuff over there that looks like some bell. When you hit it, you will always be notified when our videos pop up. You see? When you just put it there, you will be the first one to get it. And now together we can spread love. If the video pops up, you click, hit the like button, watch till the end. Good vibes will be spread to the whole world. And leave some comments there, you see. To those that have clicked for the first time, see, you guys are just wonderful, you see. And I do not have enough words to thank you for clicking these videos, watching this video. It's just something that is a gesture that is beyond words, you see. And honestly, with myself in my heart, I have no right words to thank you for that, you see. But I always wish that God will never cease to bless you. And good vibes will always come your way. Because I believe that time you have just clicked here and watched these videos, maybe you could have done something else. But because of good vibes and your good heart, you chose to watch these videos and help us in spreading love. See, even that guest deserves good vibes, you see? Because it's nice, man. Much love to you guys. Moon stuff is crazy. Amongst other things that always dazzles our mind, you see? Oh, by the way, good vibes adlings, subscribers, and those who have been watching. What we do is that we change on these videos, you see? Kindly leave some comment there. See, I saw there was some guy by the name I'm not, can I think, I think Regent someone. No, forgive me if I don't remember the whole name. You see, that good vibes guy was telling me, my friend, you see, you should stop talking and watch these videos when you are quiet. We don't meet that way. You see, and now I'm here from this side of the world. I'm asking myself, my friend, they are good vibes. So if I don't talk, now how will I even be able to thank you and tell you you are loved? You see, and even wish you blessing. You have to talk a little bit here and there, even for us to just interact and know each other better. You see, what do you think? Furthermore, we can spread the good vibes even with gestures. But now when we might hire something here, we just have to spread love. See, this thing of us talking is what we always do. Anyways, good vibes, and it was just taken well. Any comments is accepted. You leave your comment there. Whatever you think, we'll solve it out as one. You see, after all, here we are a family, and we wish that this family and this community will even be bigger. And we can address one another like brother and sister, or just like good vibes and things, you see? And we can
This is the one
eliminate all
question an
bad
atheist
vibes.
cannot answer. Let's play it.
I don't know. That's believe that atheists and agnostics, once they like choose that path or their point of view, do you believe that they can't be as moral as Christians?
Oh no, atheists, agnostics can be just as moral as anybody else. The question isn't, do you need God to be moral? Do you have to believe in God to be moral? No, there's atheists that are very moral. The question is, can you justify morality without God? And that's the problem, right? It's not, can you act morally? Of course, atheists can act morally. The question is, can you justify what is moral without God? And I say, no, it's just your opinion if there's no God.
For me, I was raised in a family with, I would say, not to sound conceited, but with very high morals.
Okay.
I respect
good.
point of views. I'm very open-minded.
Good.
How would God influence me to be more moral, even if, like, I think of myself and people tell me that I'm a decent and moral person?
Well, let's back up for a second and ask the question, what is the purpose of life? Is the purpose of life to be moral?
I don't know. That's no, I wouldn't. Well, that's. I guess I would say no, but.
What is the purpose then?
To make the world a better place.
That would be then being moral. Why?
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, in a sense it would be. So that our children and grandchildren can leave.
Who cares? We're ultimately going to burn out one day, so what's the ultimate purpose?
So that we can live longer and humans can stay on the earth longer.
So what? Ultimately, it's all going to, we're going to spin out, we're going to heat death.
Okay.
So is there any ultimate purpose? There may be short-term purposes, but no ultimate purpose.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so...
Yeah. In the very long term.
Right, in the very long term, there's no
Okay.
purpose, so why even care about the short term then?
Because I care about my children and grandchildren.
Right, but so did Stalin. And that Stalin lived a great life for himself and his children and grandchildren by killing everybody around him and taking their stuff.
Yeah, he's a bad person, so yeah.
But what do you mean by bad?
He's killing other people.
Why is that wrong?
Because it's I mean, it's not good to kill other people.
Why not?
Because that's what most
Who
people
said?
would say.
Yeah, but who said? Hitler said it was good to kill other people. Stalin said it was good to kill it. Why is that wrong? Why are they wrong?
Because they killed millions of people. And
I know, but why is
desecrating the
killing
human
millions
race.
of people wrong if there's no God?
Because I would just say because it's ruining the human race and it's
right, but it presupposes that there's some value to human beings, right?
Mm-hmm.
That presupposes that.
God does not exist. Objective moral values do not exist. And here's why. Without some objective reference point, we have no way of saying that something is really up or down. God's nature provides an objective reference point for moral values. It's the standard against which all actions and decisions are measured. But if there's no God, there's no objective reference point. All we're left with is one person's viewpoint, which is no more valid than anyone else's viewpoint. This kind of morality is subjective, not objective. It's like a preference for strawberry ice cream. The preference is in the subject, not the object. So it doesn't apply to other people. In the same way, subjective morality applies only to the subject. It's not valid or binding for anyone else. So, in a world without God, there can be no evil and no good, nothing but blind, pitiless indifference. God has expressed his moral nature to us as commands. These provide the basis for moral duties. For example, God's essential attribute of love is expressed in his command to love your neighbor as yourself. This command provides a foundation upon which we can affirm the objective goodness of generosity, self-sacrifice, and equality. For the atheist, humans are just accidents of nature, highly evolved animals. But animals have no moral obligations to one another. When a cat kills a mouse, it hasn't done anything morally wrong. The cat's just being a cat. If God doesn't exist, we should view human behavior in the same way. No action should be considered morally right or wrong. But the problem is, good and bad, right and wrong, do exist. Just as our sense experience convinces us that the physical world is objectively real, our moral experience convinces us that moral values are objectively real.
God said, it's bigger than you. You think this blessing is just for you and your immediate family, but no, it's for strangers, it's for an entire nation and an entire generation that is rising up. God is raising up a new army. He says in the last days, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. You see yourself as small, you see yourself as a nobody, but what God is raising up inside of you is going to touch millions. Some of you might not touch the millions directly, but the one person that you touch will reach millions. Think of that person. People are dependent on you to not give up. It's a very hard process, but it is necessary. For the place that God is taking you will have giants, but you can only conquer those giants through this difficult process. Gold is more useful after it is refined.
Oh man, that sounds interesting. Good vibes gatherings. You see, all this debate about God existing and not existing, my friends, me, I believe myself. If yourself, you exist. Myself here, I exist. You see, from a very different places. You maybe are in English lands. Tell us where you are, by the way. Myself, I'm in Africa. And I exist and we understand one another. That means that God really exists. You see? And I pray that God will bless you and reward you in incredible ways in everything that you do. You see? Thanks for watching up to this part. Leave comments, hit the like button, and be good websites. You see? It was some nice time being with you here, my friend. I am Wednesday11H. Till next time, man. Good vibes be with you and peace. Oh, and Kasungumo, by the way, he didn't escape. He was right here all the time, just chilling. Say hi, my friend. Oh, use good vibes, man. I love you all. Bye bye. Till next time. Kasungumo! What?